I am 13 minutes late, but hey, guess what? I'm live, baby. We live, y'all. And I'm late. I'm late and live. All at the same time. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've been waiting for me for the last 14 minutes, thank you for your patience. This is the day that the Lord has made. So I hope in my tardiness, you are continuing to rejoice and be glad in it. If you're coming on, whatever the platform, you are entering the world of the RP show, the Ramon Preston show. Welcome to the world that gives you the information you need to start, structure, and scale your businesses, ministries, income streams, and wealth building dreams. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is a winning Wednesday, W-I-N-S day. And I'm excited about every day because every day is a blessed day. And this Wednesday is not just a hump day for so many of you that are out there grinding and getting it and hustling and making things happen, but it is an amazing day for you to learn something that can help continue to start or structure or scale whatever God has given you to introduce to the marketplace. So welcome to the Ramon Preston Show, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Ramon Preston, every Monday through Friday, even when I'm tardy, even when I'm late. Every Monday through Friday, or unless I'm out of town or doing something that I can't go live, we come to you every Monday through Friday and we bring you the information that we believe can help start, structure, and scale your businesses, your ministries, your income streams, and your wealth building dreams. All of the information that we share with you comes from one of three sources, primarily. That is from our online education and training platform called the Blueprint Game Plan. That's a part of Ramon Preston University. That is the training platform that we use to complement everything else that we're doing in our other two divisions. That is our coaching division and our consulting division. So whether you are a client, whether you are a member, or whether you're just a follower of our programs, of our company, of our show, I want to say thank you so much for always showing up, always giving us feedback. Those of you that are on YouTube, thank you so much. We have had tens of thousands of people every 30 days, every month when we do a review on our social media activity, YouTube is always at the top of that activity. So let me know what city you're watching us from or country, because I was going through some of the information on YouTube, some of the posts and some of the information that people were sharing, and I realized that we have people from other parts of the world, especially on YouTube, that show up to join the show and to participate. So for those of you that are from other countries, I want you to please drop the name of the country that you are watching us from. If you're in the United States of America, let us know what city in the United States of America that you're watching us from. It's good for all of us to know, especially when I go back and I rewatch the video clips, and even when I go back through the analytics, it's just good to know that we have people from all over the world. Yesterday, we talked about some trending topics in business. And one of the trending topics that we talked about yesterday was financial stability, and how most people today, after 15 months of a pandemic, most people today are seeking financial stability more than any other time, at least in recent history. And another trending topic that we talked about yesterday on the back end of the show was the trending topic of business ownership, because people are looking not just to find financial stability because of how the pandemic has changed the economic landscape of a lot of people's lives, but a lot of people are looking for opportunities to own businesses. They're looking for opportunities to invest. They're looking for opportunities to protect their money, to protect their assets, and to maximize their income, their profitability. And so in light of the discussion that we had yesterday, in light of a lot of trending topics that I see on the surface of a lot of economic platforms, a lot of business platforms, a lot of financial platforms, in light of all that, I thought it was worthy and it was ideal for me to talk about the foundation of wealth building today. That's what I want to talk about, because it really ties into some of the things that I talked about yesterday with regard to most people today looking for financial stability, and they're looking for financial stability in most cases through ownership, through investing, through taking what they have in liquid assets or cash and putting it and placing it somewhere that is safe and stable, but also successful. And so that really ties right into the foundation of wealth building. Now, my disclaimer to those of you that are watching today, my disclaimer is this. Most of what I talk about on this show, most of what I teach through our online educational training platform, most of what I provide as services and solutions to our clients that we coach in our business coaching program and even in our consulting group, most of that information is pushing you towards wealth building. So the information that I share and the services that we provide in our company, although they can help you with some of the minor or single things that you might want to do, whether it's just to repair your credit, just to get out of a little bit of debt, just to save a little bit of money, just to have stability in your business, the information and the content can help complement those smaller single individual things that you might want to do. However, if you grasp the magnitude of what I talk about on a daily basis and what I teach and what I provide as a business consultant and business coach, it's really designed to help you build wealth. That's what it's designed to help you do. All of you by now, or at least some of you by now, should have heard my story about how I got to where I am, so I'm not going to rehash all of that. But what I would say is, for years, I had an understanding of wealth building intellectually, but I did not have the discipline in my daily habits for wealth building practically, which means every time there was a economic contraction, every time that there was some situation that went on or took place in my own personal life or in my world, it always negatively affected my ability to continue to move forward financially or economically. It affected my business. It affected my revenue. It affected certain opportunities that I wanted to take advantage of. Why? Because I was not necessarily on the course to building wealth. I was on the course to get in the bag. I was on the course of trying to get out of debt. I was on the course of trying to experience financial freedom. But because I was not on the course to building wealth, I did not have the right information, meaning that I didn't have the right practices. So today I want to talk a little bit about the foundation of wealth building. Some of you really want to build wealth. Some of you really want to establish a sustainable legacy for yourselves and for your family. And I want to at least share with you what I believe to be the most important aspects or components to the foundation of wealth building. So for those of you that are watching us live, even if you're watching the replay, feel free to call in if you have any questions. The number is 678-922-1963, extension number 1. 678-922-1963, extension number 1. That number is in the comments. If at any point in our discussion today during the live show you have a question, feel free to dial that number, and that number is going to be rerouted directly to my personal cell phone, and I'll be able to answer the call and answer your question to help you. Also, for those of you that are interested in learning more about starting a holding company, structuring a holding company, that's one of the big topics that's trending right now, at least on our YouTube channel and in a lot of the YouTube and Google searches that we have done some data research on. If you're interested in learning more about how to start and structure, a holding company, and how to build it out, how to run the day-to-day operations of it, and how to integrate some of the most important systems into that holding company, we're going to be hosting a VIP business workshop this Saturday from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. And I'm going to take 4 hours to really dig deep and share with you principles and practices and give you tactics and tools to not only start and structure a holding company properly, but how to file it, how to form it, and how to integrate into it the most important systems so that your holding company can run efficiently and effectively. So in the comments, I want you to be on the lookout for a VIP offer that we're extending to everyone this week before Saturday. And that VIP offer is going to give you access to our business workshop this Saturday, 4 hours, whether you are coming in person or whether you're going to join us virtually during the live workshop. We're giving everyone an opportunity to RSVP and to reserve your VIP ticket for $29.99. And with that $29.99 offer, we're not only giving you a free VIP pass to our upcoming business workshop on starting and structuring a holding company, but we're also going to give you free access to our financial workshop that we hosted 2 weeks ago, where I took 4 hours to teach on the power of QuickBooks, the power of accounting. I talked about financial literacy. I gave creative tax strategies, and we really took about 2 hours of that 4 hour session, maybe 2.5 hours. It was about almost 5 hours. We took about 2 hours to walk you through the process of starting a QuickBooks account, connecting it to your bank account, configuring your QuickBooks account to accommodate all of the financial principles that you learn and the tax strategies that you want to implement. So you get access to 2 VIP workshops, one this upcoming Saturday in person or virtual, and one that we hosted 2 weeks ago. You get access to that 4.5 to 5 hour workshop that we did. So keep that in mind. If at any time you can look in the comments, you'll see the offer for the VIP workshop. All you would have to do is text the words VIP special to 404-478-7213, and we'll get back with you, and we will RSVP you for that workshop. So today, ladies and gentlemen, I know we've pushed our time back a little bit today because I was about 14 minutes late. I literally, y'all, walked in the door at 12 o'clock. I walked in our office suite door at 12 o'clock. That's how late I was. You know I'm tripping today. So the foundation of wealth building. Let's talk a little bit about that. What is the foundation of wealth building? And why should wealth building even have a foundation? Let me explain to you what the foundation of wealth building is, because the Bible says, for those of you that are biblical, for those of you that know scripture, for those of you that are part of the faith community, the Bible says in Deuteronomy 8 and 18, Deuteronomy 8 and 18, the Bible says that it is God that gives you and I as his children the power to get wealth. It is God that gives you and I as his children the power to get wealth. This is biblical, okay? This is scriptural. And he makes it clear in Deuteronomy 8 and 18 that even though God gives you the power to get wealth, he doesn't give you the wealth. He gives you the power to get wealth. And this is what I believe to be a part of the foundation of wealth building. Because if God intends to extend to his people the power to get wealth, and if you continue to read that verse in Deuteronomy 8 and 18, he also explains the purpose for the power to get wealth, so that he may establish his covenant on the earth. So it's clear, just according to that scripture, that God intends to give his people not wealth, but the power to get wealth. And he intends to give his people the power to get wealth. Why? That he may establish his covenant on the earth. So there's a bigger objective that God has that he wants to accomplish on planet Earth. And this objective is so big that he designates his people to extend to them this thing called power in order for them to obtain wealth, so that they, you and I, we can assist him in his objective to do whatever it is that he wants to do on earth. This is so critical to the foundation of wealth building, because when you understand wealth building is a part of a God-given purpose to do some amazing things on planet Earth, it gives you the fuel. It gives you the motivation. It gives you the momentum. It helps shape your mindset to pursue wealth building, not for selfish purposes, not just for personal satisfaction and gratification, but to the glory of God and for the implementation and execution of what God wants to establish on the earth. That alone, ladies and gentlemen, will change the way you do business on a daily basis when you believe that the foundation of wealth building is to not only glorify God, but to help assist God in what he wants to establish and accomplish on planet Earth. Now, it sounds good because you may already understand that. You may already feel like, you know what? Whatever it is that I'm doing on the planet, whatever it is that I want to do through my business, whatever it is that I want to do through my nonprofit organization, whatever it is that I want to do with my money, whoever it is that I want to help, you may already have an understanding that all these things that you got in your mind that you want to do are going to help benefit humanity. They're going to help change the world. They're going to help bless communities, restore families, and do all those great things. You may already have a revelation of that. You may already have an understanding of that. But it doesn't just stop there, because that's just a part of, or an aspect of, a component of the foundation of wealth building. So when you start peeling back the layers of what may consider to be the foundation of wealth building, here's the key word that you want to look at. That key word is power. Because if God gives his people power to get wealth, then number one, he ain't giving me wealth. Am I correct? He ain't giving me wealth. So God ain't giving nobody wealth. God ain't just dropping Brinks bags off to your house every day. God ain't just allowing you to wake up every day and you got $10 million just sitting in your bank account. I mean, of course, there are some instances where things exceptional can happen. But most of the time, we don't see those mystical, magical things happening in our lives because that's not what God's objective is. That's not what God's intention is. His objective, his intention is to make sure that you and I as human beings, as his children, have the power to get wealth. So when I first came into understanding that God wanted to give me the power to get wealth, my next question was, well then, you'll get my charger out of there. I need my charger for my computer. My next question was, well, what is the power? Because if God is not giving me wealth, but if he's giving me the power to get wealth, I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, oh Lord, I definitely need the power to get wealth. Yeah, let me hook my computer up. Make sure we ain't losing no power around here. So, oh yeah, I'm good with this. I think this will work. So back to my point, ladies and gentlemen. If God has given me the power to get wealth, my next question was, well, Lord, what exactly does the power look like? What exactly does the power look like? Because if I can identify with what the power looks like, if I can get a revelation of what the power looks like, and I can start educating myself on the power, if I can start empowering myself on the power, I can change and transform my life forever. So this is the essence of the foundation of wealth building, not just the supernatural stuff, not just the mystical, magical, invisible stuff. The very essence or the meat of the foundation of wealth building is found in you acquiring and obtaining the power to get wealth. And I believe this power, which makes up the very essence of the foundation of wealth building, can actually be obtained through 5 important things. I want to give you these 5 things, okay? I think these 5 things make up the foundation of wealth building. So if you want to build wealth, let me simplify this thing for you so you don't get lost in all this philosophical, intellectual talking I'm doing, because it might sound gibberish to you. Let's just simplify this thing. Let's just get right to the nitty gritty. It took me 20 minutes to get to this point. So here it is. Ramon Preston, what is the foundation of wealth building? I want to build wealth. What is the foundation of wealth building, and what do I need to do? What do I need to have? What do I need to possess? What do I need to obtain to really build wealth for me and for my family? I'm gonna give you 5 things, okay? Number 1, I want you to write these things down, and I'll do my best to try to get into some of the details of them, but I'm gonna give them to you. Number 1, the first aspect or component or key, whatever word you want to use, to wealth building is financial literacy. I want you to write these things down. I'm going to give you 5. And all 5 of these work interchangeably or in agreement with one another. Okay? So the first key, let's just use the word key. That's a little easier. I'm going to try to simplify it today. The first key to wealth building is what? Financial literacy. I want you to write that in the comments. Financial literacy. The first key to wealth building is financial literacy. Financial literacy is not just you learning about credit or banking or debt or or taxes or income and expense tracking. It involves that. But more importantly, financial literacy is about you taking information you learn that helps you to understand how to make money, how to manage money, and how to multiply money. Financial literacy is about you taking that information or that intelligence and converting it into math. So let me give you an example. If you write down the word million, it's different than writing down the numerical value of a million, if that makes sense to you. So I can write down the word million, M-I-L-L-I-O-N. So when I look at that word million, I understand the numerical value of it, but there's a barrier. There's a barrier because what I'm looking at is a word. I'm not necessarily looking at a number. Do you understand what I'm saying? If you don't, I want you to take a piece of paper and I want you to write down the word million. I want you to just write down the word million so you can see that's a word. What most people have when it comes to financial literacy is an understanding of words. They understand words. They understand information. They have intelligence based on words that have either been written or that have been spoken. So that means you may have learned about financial literacy from somebody like me through a video. You may have learned about financial literacy from somebody like me through a handout, a workshop, through a book. But if you write down the word million, beside it, I want you to write the numerical value of a million. That would be a dollar sign, a 1, comma, 0, 0, 0, comma, 0, 0, 0. I'm just showing you how subtle but how simple financial literacy can be. So there are a lot of people who think they're financially literate, right? Because they understand the word million. They understand words. But you have to take that understanding of words intellectually and you got to convert it mathematically.
That's good.
Does that make sense?
Makes a lot of sense. It's good.
See, if you get around me enough, anytime I'm with people and we start having a conversation about business or finances or deals, what's the first thing that I do?
Get that calculator.
Thank you. My personal assistant is answering the question for me. She said, you're going to get your calculator.
Yeah.
Why? Because I am financially literate enough to know that even though I'm having a discussion with words about business, even though I'm having a discussion with words about a deal, even though I'm having a discussion about products and services or whatever it is, if I cannot do the math on what I'm talking about or what I'm comprehending, I know I'm not executing my ability to be financially literate. Okay? That's going to be very, very, very important for you to understand. Some of you may have heard this before, especially if you grew up listening to rap music and hip hop in the late 80s and in the early 90s. There was a phrase that we used to always say, because it was in a song: if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. How many of y'all remember that? If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. I want somebody to put that in the comments. If it don't make dollars, dog, it don't make sense. Put that in the comments. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. I'm saying this because I want you to see something in that statement. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. In other words, if I cannot put a numerical value to what I'm hearing, it will not make sense to my brain. Because my brain works to some extent, it works better with numbers than it does with words. Sometimes my brain knows how to process numbers mathematically than it processes words intellectually. So the first key to wealth building is financial literacy. Let me give you some examples of what makes up financial literacy and why you have to become financially literate. You have to become financially literate because financial literacy is made up of financial planning. I talk about this in our blueprint game plan, financial planning. That means you've got to understand how to plan financially. You have to understand income and expense tracking, which means you have to become a manager of your finances. You have to at least know enough about accounting to use accounting systems. So in your personal finances, you might use accounting systems like mint.com. Somebody can drop that in the comments. That's an app. It's called mint.com, mint.com. It's a personal financial management app. If you don't have your personal finances in order, you need to be using a personal financial management app like the Mint app. Of course, you have people like Dave Ramsey. I think he has an app. What is it called? I think Every Dollar or something like that, Smart Dollar. He has a financial management app. There are probably tens of thousands of financial management apps, but Mint is one of the more popular apps, and one of the reasons why I always recommend people using that app for personal management of their finances is because the Mint app for personal financial management is powered by Intuit. Intuit is the company that actually owns QuickBooks. So if you learn how to use the Mint app for your personal banking and your personal financial management, it's easier, to some extent, it's easier to convert over to using QuickBooks for your business. But this is a part of financial literacy, because financial literacy is all about numbers. It's all about math. It's all about metrics. But the numbers that you become familiar with, the math and the metrics that you familiarize yourself with, this math and these metrics and these numbers are based off of information that you have gathered. So it's not until you gather the information. And sometimes I say this to a lot of people that's on our blueprint game plan. Sometimes you just got to keep listening to it until, boom, the light comes on. I was just having a conversation with some people on the Zoom yesterday that we were integrating into our blueprint game plan. And I was explaining to them, you got to just keep listening to that message, even if some of the information you're listening to you already know, even if it's some of the information you're listening to sounds boring, you still got to keep listening to it, because sometimes it's not even what Prophet Ramon Preston is saying that's going to resonate with you. It's the fact that you listened to me and something hit your mind, because your mind was open to gather data. Your brain was focused to gather information, and you had an idea that came. You had a thought that came. That's a part of financial literacy. Okay? Financial literacy is also about banking, understanding taxes, understanding assets versus liabilities, knowing how to evaluate your net worth. All of these things make up financial literacy. But that is the first key to wealth building. So if you want to build wealth, you have to become your own personal expert in financial literacy. And it encompasses a lot of the things that I just mentioned. What is the second key to wealth building? The second key to wealth building is entrepreneurship. One of the gentlemen that I was doing an orientation with yesterday for our entrepreneurship program one of the gentlemen asked me, Mr. Preston, can you explain to me the difference between an entrepreneur and a business owner? Because there is a fundamental difference. So I'm going to explain to you the difference, but first I want you to understand that entrepreneurship is one of the keys to wealth building. Entrepreneurship. When I say entrepreneurship, I'm not really talking about business ownership. When I say entrepreneurship, I'm talking about a few things that are separate from owning a business. I'm talking about, number one, a mindset that you have to have, like a deep-seated internal capability and capacity that you have to possess. This is why a lot of people who start businesses fail, because either they're not entrepreneurs or they are entrepreneurs, but they have not built that entrepreneurship muscle. Do you understand what I'm saying? They have not built that entrepreneurship muscle. Like if you plan on starting a business, or if you have started a business, prior to starting that business, it is to your advantage and to the success of your business to learn more about entrepreneurship, to understand what entrepreneurship is, to understand how entrepreneurship works, to understand what characteristics, what traits, what things that make an entrepreneur an entrepreneur. And so if I had to identify with a few things that makes an entrepreneur, I would have to say, number one, your mindset, your ability and your capacity to learn, to grow, to expand. As a matter of fact, the word entrepreneur in English derives from a Latin word that refers to an enterprise. So someone who is considered to be an entrepreneur is actually considered, according to the original word for entrepreneur, they're considered to be an enterpriser. And when you think about enterprising, think about Star Trek. They used to call the ship that Dr. Spock and all of them got on the Star Trek Enterprise, because it was a ship that had the capacity and the capability to take them where no man had ever gone before. Mm-hmm. That was actually the Star Trek's slogan. Their slogan was to go where no man has ever gone before. But it was the enterprise of that Star Trek, because they understood that they had the capacity through that vehicle to go where no one else could go, to do what no one else could do, to see what no one else could see. So when you are an entrepreneur, you are actually operating in a built-in default mechanism that God put inside of you to go where no man has ever gone before. That's why entrepreneurs who really build that muscle for entrepreneurship, they never give up. They fail, they lose, but they pivot and keep it moving. So when I see people who own businesses who are not all in, when I see people who own businesses who really don't educate themselves and train and develop and discipline themselves, I know one or two things. Either they're not entrepreneurs, which we call those wantrepreneurs. They are wantrepreneurs. They want to be entrepreneurs because the idea of entrepreneurship looks good. They're either wantrepreneurs, which means they're not entrepreneurs, or they may be entrepreneurs, but they have not built the muscle to operate at full capacity as an entrepreneur. Either way, they're going to lose and fail in their business, because entrepreneurship is not business ownership. But in order for a business owner who wants to operate that business and run that business, in order for them to succeed, they have to be an entrepreneur, and they have to build that muscle for entrepreneurship. That's why entrepreneurship is the second key to wealth building. One more aspect that I want to highlight on entrepreneurship, or one more characteristic, that might be better. Another characteristic for entrepreneurship is people who are entrepreneurs know how to make exchanges. They know how to make exchanges. Let me give an example, because I teach all this to our coaching clients. I teach this in our blueprint game plan. When you are an entrepreneur and you understand the power of exchanges, what you're able to do every day is you're able to go into the market. That means you're able to knock on doors. You're able to send emails out. You texting people. You reaching out to people. You calling people. You building relationships. You passing out cards. You DMing people. You always on social media. Why are you doing all those things? Because you want to take what you have and share it with the world. In other words, you know you got to make an exchange in order to continue to go. So when I see somebody who owns a business and who does not get into the marketplace every day to make an exchange, they're showing me signs that they're not entrepreneurs, or that they are entrepreneurs but their muscle for entrepreneurship is weak. And the only way they're going to build that muscle is they got to learn some different information. What they know is not enough, and what they know might be the wrong information. So that's what entrepreneurship is, and that's how it works. The third key to wealth building, here is where we show the difference. The third key is business ownership. So if you want to build wealth, you're gonna have to, like literally, if you want to build wealth, even if you want to just start the process of wealth building, you gotta understand and operate in these five keys that I'm giving you. You got to become financially literate. You got to learn and build the muscle for entrepreneurship. And then you have to understand and operate in business ownership. Now, when it comes to business ownership, because I hear this all the time, I was hearing it yesterday. A couple of people, y'all might have heard a couple of people say, well, I got an LLC. You know, I was trying to be nice, and I try to be nice, but I want to tell people when they say that, so? And what does that mean? Because you got an LLC. It means nothing because you got an LLC. And I'm saying this respectfully. It means nothing because you own a business. That doesn't mean you understand business ownership. Because when I say business ownership, here's what I have learned. And here's what I know without a shadow of a doubt. When somebody like me says business ownership, it has a different meaning to 99% of the people who hear me say that. But if you ask a wealthy person, what does it mean to own a business? They're going to have a different definition for owning a business than somebody who is a millionaire, and than somebody who is a six-figure earner, and than somebody who works on a job but still owns a business on the side. All of those tax brackets, all of those financial classes will have a different definition for what owning a business is. But owning a business or business ownership is one of the keys to wealth building. Because once you understand financial literacy, once you understand entrepreneurship, if you complement that information and understanding with owning a business, and you have the right definition of owning a business, and you execute it according to that right information and definition, you're going to succeed. I guarantee you are. I've been through all of these steps. I've been through all of these processes. I come from below the bottom, so I know exactly what each stage brings and what each stage requires. I know it because I have literally lived it. Okay? So here's a simple definition for business ownership. What does it mean to own a business? Or when you say you own a business, what do you mean? Here's what it should mean. You own systems. That's what business ownership means. You own systems. Not a piece of paper from the Secretary of State. That's the mistake a lot of people making. Well, I own a business. What do you mean you own a business? What is your business made up of? Well, I got an LLC. I got a 501c3. I've heard some people say, and I hope I ain't talking about none of y'all on this live, but I've heard some people say, I own a business, and I'm like, so you got an LLC? No, I just got an EIN. You don't own no business.
Wow.
And if what I'm saying offends you, push past the offense and just accept the fact that, you know what, he's right. I think I'm wrong in my definition, and I need to get the right information. If you're not offended and you're motivated, I want you to just lean in and say, you know what? I got to get my game up. Because if you're going to own a business, owning a business is not having an EIN. Owning a business is not having a LLC or S Corp or C Corp or whatever type of corp you can come up with. Owning a business is not you going to Wyoming or Delaware or Nevada and starting a holding company. Owning a business means that you own systems. It means you own systems. Because people who own businesses are people who own systems, which means that they have people, they have processes that actually work for them. Otherwise, you're not a business owner. You are an entrepreneur that's running a business. In other words, you don't own systems, you own a job. So if I sit down with somebody and they start giving me all these ideas about something that they want to do, one of the first things I think to myself is, yeah, you're getting ready to start another job. You're not finna own another business. You're not finna start another business because the first business you got ain't no system. You don't have an accounting system. You don't have an executive system. You don't have a marketing system. You don't have a sales system. You don't have a financial system. You don't have an operating system. You don't have any of these systems. If you don't have any of those systems, guess what? You really don't have a business. So in order to own a business, business ownership requires you to own systems. That means when you do get your EIN, when you do start your LLC, when you do open up your bank account, when you do draft your operating agreement, what you have to do next is connect that to systems to make sure that what you introduce to the market in the form of products and services can operate and flow through systems. And the most important systems, I'm going to be talking about that in depth this Saturday in our workshop as well, because that's the key to starting and structuring a holding company. So most people that I talk to about a holding company, I try to explain to them that really running the day-to-day operations of a holding company or a conglomerate that's made up of like 4, 5, or 6, or maybe 3 different business entities, really the biggest key to doing that the right way is having systems. Because the systems take the complication out of it. So you're not around here like scrambling in your mind and running like a chicken with your neck cut off. So the third key to wealth building is what? Business ownership. The next key, number 4. The next key to wealth building, number 4, is investing. Investing. What do you mean investing? When I say investing, I don't want you to just think about the object of investing. I want you to also think about the concept of investing. There's a difference. So like, for example, the object of investing can be cryptocurrency. The object of investing can be residential real estate. The object of investing can be in a small business that you're getting ready to acquire. The concept of investing will determine if the object of investing actually works. So it doesn't matter if you're investing in people, if you're investing in yourself, if you're investing in your business, if you're investing in cryptocurrency, if you're investing in real estate, if you're investing in gold or silver or land or diamonds, if you're investing in animals, in farmland, whatever you're investing in, all of those objects of investing are dependent on, or the success of those objects of investing are all dependent on you understanding the concept of investing. And when I say the concept of investing, that means, back to my first point with my first key, that means you understand how to mathematically analyze a potential investment. So if you see an investment opportunity, and that investment opportunity may be with a certain object, real estate, people, a business, land, gold, crypto, whatever it is, you've got to be able to take a step back and have an understanding of the concept, so that when you dissect that investment opportunity, you can mathematically analyze it to see where the money at. And you've got to be able to break that thing down in a way that you know exactly what you're going to be investing in terms of money, what the costs are associated to having that investment in terms of money, what the return is on your investment concerning that money, and basically how you're going to sustain that investment over the course of time. So all those analytics are mathematical. They're not intellectual. They're not emotional, because you just feel good about investing. Oh, I just think this is a good idea. No, that's not good enough. You got to be able to do the math. In other words, you got to be able to underwrite that opportunity even before you invest in that opportunity. And that's about the concept. That's not about the object. By the way, in our blueprint game plan, even though I have 3 entire courses that teach on real estate investing, I'm using real estate as the object, but the information that I share in those courses will help you learn the concept of investing, because it's the same similar math. It's the same similar process. So when people who are real investors and they're savvy and they're educated and experienced, when they invest in a piece of real estate, they can use the same analytic process, mathematical calculations, to invest in another business, to invest in anything, because they know it's really not about the object as much as it's about the concept. That's why investing is the 4th key to wealth building. Say what? How many of y'all are understanding what I'm saying so far? And if you're understanding it, do you agree that these are the keys to wealth building? And if you want to build wealth, where are you in this process? Are you still in the process of learning? Are you learning the right information? Do you have the right people in your life? If these questions cannot be answered correctly, then you need to make the decision to put yourself in an ecosystem, to put yourself in a circle that provides you the information, the resources, and the support that you need, even if it's not with us. Of course, I would love for you to consider joining our Blueprint Game Plan program so that you can learn and be educated on these things. I would love for you to consider being a part of our 1-year business coaching program. But if it's not us, you have to at least find somebody or some group or some business that can help you learn and understand these foundational principles to wealth building. Number 1, financial literacy. Number 2, entrepreneurship. Number 3, business ownership. Number 4, investing. And number 5, the 5th key to wealth building is family legacy building. Family legacy building. So I'm getting ready to do a whole new program, and I'm going to add it to my Blueprint game plan for free to everyone that's on it. But this program is going to be a virtual video-based program that I teach, and it's going to be on family legacy building. And so we're going to be talking about family trust. We're going to be talking about the most important assets that make up a family legacy. We're going to be talking about the concept of starting and structuring family banks. We're going to be talking about things that in most cases will outlive you when it comes to family legacy building. That's going to be a very, very, very good program that we add to our Blueprint game plan, because there are a lot of people who are looking to establish a family legacy. There are a lot of people who skip some of these steps that I'm talking about, and they go straight to trying to get a trust formed or establishing some type of family bank or banking system, but they don't have these other steps or other keys executed right. If you go through this process, once you get to key number 5, you're going to already see that you got all the pieces of the puzzle properly in place for you to properly and successfully establish a family legacy. Because a family legacy is made up of certain assets that have to be locked in stone. They have to be put together. And once they're locked in stone and put together, they're going to create this entity, this thing called a family legacy, which at that point would probably be grafted into what you might commonly know as a trust. And that's what's going to solidify your family legacy. So those are the 5 keys that make up the foundation of wealth building. For those of you that are interested in learning more about what I just talked about today, I want you to reach out to me. I want you to consider taking advantage of our online educational training platform. We have an entire program that's built to teach you the most important aspects of everything I just talked about today. It's called the Blueprint Game Plan. This Blueprint Game Plan is actually a business and financial blueprint, as well as a training program to give you a game plan. And we use a 5-step wealth building system to show you how to not only put a business and financial blueprint for your life together, but also how to create a game plan so that you can walk step by step through the process to getting to building wealth. That's what our Blueprint Game Plan is about. We also have a 1-year business coaching program that we are offering to people like you who really want to not just learn and be educated, but want to be mentored by someone who has already succeeded in these steps to building wealth. And so if you are interested in the blueprint, or if you're interested in the coaching program, or if you just want to know more about it and get an opportunity to speak with me or my team to get more information on what it's made up of, what the benefits of it are, all you have to do is text the word blueprint, or you can text the word coaching to 404-478-7213. The number and the information to text is in the comments. For those of you that are interested in our coaching program, when you join our coaching program, you're going to get, in addition to all of the one-on-one sessions, in addition to the group coaching masterminds. You're also going to get 1 year free access to our blueprint game plan. We add that in for free, so you don't have to purchase that separately. We're also offering our 2 workshops for free if you join our business coaching program. So the workshop that we're hosting this Saturday on starting and structuring a holding company, and the workshop that we're hosting that we hosted 2 weeks ago on QuickBooks and accounting and financial literacy and tax strategies, we're giving you all that for free when you join our 1 year business coaching program. So look in the comments, pull that number, text VIP special if you want to take advantage of the workshop that we're hosting Saturday. You can text Blueprint if you want access to our virtual training program that teaches everything that I talked about today and more. Or you can text coaching if you want to join our 1 year business coaching program, and we give you everything that we just mentioned for free. I love y'all. I hope you learned something today. I would love to get more feedback from you. Please email us, text us, let us know how the show is helping you. Let us know how the show is bringing value to you. If there are some topics with regard to business, economics, financial literacy, holding companies, real estate investing that you would like to hear more about, send me a message. You can email me at info@ramonpreston.com, info@ramonpreston.com, or you can just go to our main web portal, ramonpreston.com, ramonpreston.com. And there you will find a contact form, and you can fill that contact form out and send me that information, and I will take all of it into consideration to make sure that we're providing as much value as we possibly can. Every Monday through Friday, right here on the Ramon Preston Show, we're giving you the game. We're sharing with you information that has helped me build a successful organization. Everything that we teach you, we provide as products and services through our consulting group, our coaching program, and our online university training platform. So if you need more information, just give me a call. I'll be more than happy to talk with you, to share with you more information about what we're doing, how we can help you, what we can provide to help you start, structure, and scale your business, ministry, income streams, or wealth building dreams. So I love y'all. Have an amazing day. We'll see you right here tomorrow on the Ramon Preston Show.